United we stand, divided we fall. We understand the importance of being a partnership in launching a new idea of business, which has never been tested before and might present great success, but at the same time, big issues to face together. About the advantages of our choice, we want to underline, first of all, simplicity. Partnership is easy to set up, and this will permit us to save time and resources to dedicate in other part of our business. Partnership is easy to manage. Working together, we discover how every one of us has its own quality different from the others and how it can perform the best in its specific field of strength. In a partnership, it's easier to attract financial capital. To start our project, we need a considerable amount of capital that will be more easily findable by putting together our resources. Partners' taxes, any losses or profits of the partnership pass directly to the partners as personal income for income tax purposes.
To start up our business, we firstly need to understand the main areas of expenses, which include the online website and application development and maintenance, the need of computers and equipment for managing the azienda, various furnitures and fixtures to create an adequate and comfortable office and warehouse to work in, and a cash reserve of 2000 years for an inconvenience that can happen to our business during its lifetime. Last but not least, the inventory, so the children's item we will rent out. This will be acquired by our business both new from an external seller and second-hand by parents who no longer need them and want to regain a part of what they had spent in the past. Objects that obviously will be arranged by us for a new use. Everything I mentioned corresponds to the assets, so resources controlled by the entity from which we expect potential future economic benefits, which are the positive components of the capital of our business, so the balance sheet, for a total amount of 20,605 euros. This will be financed for the 40% by us owners, we are 4 owners, and for the remaining parts, or the 60% by a bank loan, with the understanding that we will have to repay all the debts, so the negative component of the business capital, for a total amount of 5% each year.
Let's focus now on how we calculate total income, that is a key measure of performance, using 3 different methods. The first method is simple. We compare net revenues and total costs. In our case, our company earned 80,000 euros per year for 5 years, totaling 400,000 euros. Total costs such as inventory, new inventory, website development, warehouse rent, shipping cost in 5 years, interest on loan in 5 years, and so on, are 116,695 euros and 75 cents. The difference between net revenues and total costs gave us total income, that is 283,304 euros and 25 cents. This showed the company operational efficiency. The second method looks at the change in equity between the initial time and the final time, that in our case is 5 years. The initial equity is calculated as a 14% of the initial value of assets, and the equity is 8,242 euros. The final equity is determined by adding the total income to the initial equity, and in our case is 291,546 euros and 25 cents. The total income is the difference between the final equity and the initial equity, and in our case it is 283,304 euros and 25 cents. This method shows how income directly increased the company's net capital. The third method considers the difference between the cash inflows and cash outflows during the company's life cycle. The cash in is the sum of the net revenues and bank loan, and in our case is 412,363 euros. The cash out are the sum of the total cost and lower payment, and in our case is 129,058 euros and 75 cents. Total income is the difference between the cash in and the cash out. In our case is the 283,304 euros and 25 cents. This method gives us a direct view of the cash generated by the company and how it was used. The 3 methods all lead to the same result: 283,304 euros and 25 cents.
At the end of the 5 years, our inventory will have suffered a devaluation of the 20% each year. This happens also for the new inventory we buy every year for an amount of 600 euros each year. We also have to take into consideration the devaluation of computers and furnitures for the 50% of the initial price. Assuming that we will have to adjust some materials, we have calculated the use of the cash reserve, which at the end of the 5 years will remain at just over 800 euros. Finally, the amount of money we have generated, so the total income will correspond to more than 282,000 euros. Moreover, at the end of the 5 years, all the financial debts will have been paid, and the final equity will be equal to the sum of the total income and the initial equity, so the initial amount of money that we owners have invested into the business.
Many first steps non-financial indicators aim to meet high sustainable standards by the adoption of more eco-friendly practices reported in the Non-Financial Reporting Directive. One of our primary goals is to reduce waste by promoting reuse, refurbishment, and recycling of baby products. Regarding the Scope 2 emissions, we focus on cutting carbon emission and reduce indirect emissions through our online operation, our efficient delivery system, and by not operating in physical stores. Additionally, we are committed to reducing Scope 3 emission by minimizing the environmental footprints of the transportation, and secondly, by the online purchase, we reduce the emission that customers could have emitted by driving to the shop for buying our products. Our non-financial reporting directives ensure that we prioritize sustainability in every aspect of our operation, focusing mainly on environmental, social, and governance impacts. From managing our environmental impact by minimizing carbon emission and reduce waste to our commitment to social responsibility, focusing especially on inclusivity, community engagement, and human rights. And finally, we highly consider our governance responsibility, ensured by maintaining transparency, ethical leadership, and anti-corruption policies. In the specific, we are fostering a supportive parent community where experience and knowledge can be shared safely in our platform. In conclusion, our company is deeply committed not only to deliver high-quality products, but also to create a better and more sustainable future.